All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Phosphorus Live. Today, I'm joined by our man on the street, our Chief Marketing Officer, John Vecchi. Should be able to see there. I am at the Checkpoint CPX event. But now, hey, John, you're in Miami and you're at the S4 event.
I guess the best way to describe S4 would be it's like the RSA of OT, industrial control system security, right? From an xIoT perspective, Mike, as you know, that really covers the OT, the ICS, and the industrial IoT side of it. I think what you're seeing here is that aperture is opening a bit on the fact that these environments also contain a host of other types of IoT.
What's been a highlight of the show for you this week?
First of all, we saw sessions specifically talking about active discovery, right? Everyone's kind of coming back to the idea that we really do need to find a way to actively discover this stuff because visibility is so rough for a lot of these guys using kind of the legacy traditional stuff. It's just very difficult to get, high fidelity, comprehensive, deep visibility and asset inventory with kind of the passive technology.
And we've been waiting for the mindset to open up a little bit so we can have that kind of conversation. You've got to understand the sensitivity of the devices. And then when you put together that active discovery engine, it has to be purposefully built to be able to manage that environment.
Last year, there was a lot of talk about S-bombs, right, Mike? I mean, I usually ask one question. I mean, let's say you get the S-bombs. What do you do with them, right? I mean, what do you do with them? I mean, most people, it's like a blind man touching an elephant on the S-bomb. That's one thing. Number two is if we're waiting for the device manufacturers to actually begin, right, to have best practices around security and actually ship the devices secure out of the box, we're probably waiting an awfully long time, right? The other thing is I'm getting infrastructure fatigue. A lot of the traditional solutions, they come with infrastructure dependencies. And so what we heard today is, look, we're big organizations. We have lots of distributed sites. It's really tough to have infrastructure dependencies and try to get visibility across all those remote locations. I wrote a blog. It was on the OMB mandates. So this is for the agencies. And it said, agencies, you must, by the end of the federal fiscal year, you must have full asset inventory. Painful, right? So that's the big one. What's happened that we found here is that OMB mandate has started to shift to utilities. Now, those mandates are getting pushed to them for things like all of the solar and wind and all the batteries and all the stuff. And then what I heard this week is that the DOE, the Department of Energy, is going to take the lead from the OMB and has let those utilities know that they are hold tight, but there is a mandate coming from them. So I guess in short, my gosh, visibility, high definition visibility and comprehensive insight and discovery of all those assets is front and center this year. There's no question about it. And again, that comes as we've seen just tremendous activity from CISA and the federal government, all the agencies, right. Homeland Security, NSA and CIA and FBI, saying that all of this infrastructure is definitely more and more of a target of nation states.
Although we haven't been talking about mandates here at the Checkpoint event, we've had numerous conversations around that same way. How do I get high fidelity asset information? Because the solutions that Checkpoint has put into play, Anthem and the customers have given just rudimentary information at best to this point. But it starts with the visibility piece, and everybody commented on it. I don't have enough good high fidelity asset information in my environment today. Anything controversial that's been talked about there?
There's one thing hugely controversial at the show this year, and it's phosphorus. It's phosphorus, because we're the only one doing this. But it's just the idea of what we're doing. The idea that you can not only discover all of these assets, but again, we're talking about going outside of just the myopic OTICS, right? What was controversial is that you can actually not only go find all this stuff, lightly and efficiently without all the, infrastructure dependencies, but that you can actually fix it. This is becoming controversial. You know why? Because people want to do it.
Fantastic. I think that's a great final word from you and a final good perspective on your time there.